Hey guys, just wanted to do a bit on right versus wrong. Basically, the concept of it, really. Um, so, basically, I'm going to go from my point of view and how the concept applies to me with a short little story about um, how I kind of think. I've written some notes as well that I'm going to read from because that way I'll just get through it quicker because I've kind of write down a specific concept. Anyway, I'm going to start with that. Now, right versus wrong. Now, this is a concept I've had a lot of trouble working out because because it's not a natural habit. I suppose some people will argue with me about this, but I'm not here to prove anything to you. Just sharing how my mind is structured, and that may simply not work for you, and that's just fine. Um, so, in context, now I would say that right and wrong do not exist. To me, it's only a force learnt habit meant to generalize environmental factors into somewhat of a measurable state. So what I'm saying there is basically it's a social stepping stone. It's like having training wheels before you learn to realize, like when you're younger, it's a bit hard to put all the factors into a concept and come up with an understanding of the situation. Where having okay, I know this is to be wrong and this is to be wrong and this is right. You get a better generalization to be able to follow. Alright. Alright, so it becomes it's a measurable state of mind. And it is universal, it is universally socially taught for communication capabilities. So I think it's a development in our social development where it's become a habit to see things right or wrong so that we can all kind of be on the same page with what we think is morally wrong and what we think is empirical and all that. So it's there for a purpose and it's been there for a while, but we got to realize that right and wrong still doesn't actually exist. It's more of a concept based on a duality world, but the truth is it's perceived from a personal point of view. So some people can think it's right to rape women for dressing slutty, in just a comparison on the some of the Hebrew religions, and basically other people can see it as wrong. And now a lot of people will agree this is wrong in our society, especially basically we feel it's a very one-sided subject. I think women should be respected ultimately because frankly they're the ones that do all the work of keeping our species alive. The guys hunt and gather, and their job is to protect the women. So I kind of see it that way. So obviously that kind of thing is not right by me. Alright, so it's a socially learnt norm to be able to put yourself in another person's shoes easier and also agree with the group much more. Alright, so what am I trying to say here? Excuse my writing. I more see it as a social crutch than a truth about the world. So it's important to keep that in mind if you ever apply this right or wrong concept to emotional judgment. For then you lose sight of people, yourself, and reality, and can become very disconnected to everything. Yeah. I've been that person. I've been very disconnected, and it's not a good place to be. It's very Basically, if logic doesn't have a will behind it, it becomes very confused and twisted, and it takes a lot of wrong turns. For example, if you put, basically you've probably been through this, you've had a time where you had nothing to do for a week. Like, you were stuck at home, you'd read every book, you'd watched every TV show, and even if you hadn't, you can only fill so much of your time doing that. But you have, like, nothing to do for 2 weeks but wait. Then, like, probably some of you guys have done that longer, like I've done it. I've had months when I had nothing to do. And it really drives you insane because you feel a very lack of purpose and whatnot. The disconnection really messes up with the logic in your head as well as your own emotional in and output. Okay, I believe by being aware of this, aware of using right and wrong concept to emotional judgment is of this fault of the of judging people from a right and wrong angle. In the concept of right and wrong, you will have the power to forgive and love others more compassionately, and even better, you will be more open for loving yourself. Alright, a little footnote. It's important to remember to not just love yourself, but to show it. As in, if you're tired and you should have a nap, you should actually be kind to yourself and get that rest you need. Or get a massage, or have a nice long soak in the bath. Whatever it is that you do for yourself that is for you. Or have a holiday at the beach, which is what I really enjoy doing. Basically, anything that you would do for a partner or a lover or a best friend, do that for yourself. Obviously something you would like. I know that I really enjoy just going to the beach and relaxing there and just sitting on the beach and listening to the waves. That's something I do for myself. And I do that for me when my mind's all messed up and very conflicted in a lot of ways. And it's good to do this kind of thing on your own. Actually do it for you and make it conscious that you're doing it for you. A lot of people go get massages and that, and go to a health spa. I mean, the guys kind of get limitations in this way because it's not a social norm for guys to go and get pampered at a beauty salon. But it's actually nice to take that time for yourself. I guess a lot of people, like my dad, would probably go fishing if you wanted to do that. Anyway, it's important to care about yourself and do that as well. You don't just keep a relationship with your partners and your friends and your family. You keep a relationship with yourself that's built on trust and persistence. If you can't prove to yourself that you can take care of yourself and really love yourself and actually have fun with yourself, well, you're going to be missing out on a whole section of yourself that is really fun, and it brings out you more often, that side of you that you want to be. Treating yourself well is actually really important. And sometimes you got to keep at it, and for a lot of people, I think it's really hard. I think a lot of people naturally learn it from their parents. For example, my mum's always been into dancing, and she's always had her dance friends, and it's always been her thing. So she always did it, and she said to me, like, it's not always easy to gear herself up and go to these dance rehearsals and go to these concerts and stuff, and she sees that being a bit of a problem, but the simple fact is she hasn't given up on that bit, and that's given her more self-respect and more consideration for herself. Me, myself, I really enjoy taking time out and just, writing about concepts and that. I feel really enjoyable when I come up with new connections and patterns, because obviously I'm doing most of this on pattern recognition. Anyway, basically my point, the kind of key point of my little right and wrong segment is that a lot of people, I think the reason that right and wrong concept is a duality and it's actually negative for people's health is because it really does put judgment a lot on you, and if you're not already considerate of yourself, you will judge yourself harder and worse more often. And it's something you teach yourself. So you got to make sure you teach yourself that when you do something that's human error, it's not a bad thing. Yeah, it could be annoying. You could have accidentally scratched your brother's car, or I don't know, forget to bring something important to a party, something like that. But just relax and go, hold on, I am human. I do make these mistakes. And you know what? Those mistakes, more often than not, actually become more interesting, especially if you take them with a good spin. There's no harm in being human. I think there's one thing humankind needs to realize for ourselves is that being human is to be more humble, because, frankly, we're flawed in so many ways, and that's not bad. The flaws kind of make a lot of people interesting, and a lot of creativity comes from flaws. You can see that some of the most moving art in the world is actually born from dark, deep depressions and emotional explosions and intensities. I really do enjoy subtle arts as well, but I think the emotional intensities come from people that are torn and twisted. And that's a universal feeling, is that the aloneness that you get from those kind of art pieces. Okay, I'm rambling. Alright, so point being, look after yourselves and be aware of saying what you want to say to yourself. Don't just judge yourself straight off and then be going, oh, it's okay, it's me, I'm treating that way. You gotta realize that just like treating everyone else human, you need to treat yourself human. You're not better than everyone else. No one's better than anyone. Ooh, concept for the next video. I'll do better or worse. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you keep in mind that all these videos I base on myself and my life are based on only my experiences, so they are far from perfect and they have the limitation of my own experience. So if it doesn't work for you and it sounds like I'm saying something and it sounds like it's wrong to you, try listening to yourself and actually realizing that I could be very wrong about what I'm talking about. It's up to you to work out things for yourself and then find what works for you. Alright, see you guys soon.